Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you. Let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up this screen. All right, Tillman and McCollough, it appears they're going to be good to go for tomorrow's game at 7 o'clock. It's looks like we're going to be pretty much full strength, which is first time in several weeks. So this is pretty exciting. But first, as you can see, let me show you. I got myself a new shirt. Well, my mommy bought me a new shirt. I'm 50 some odd years old. My mommy bought me a new shirt. There you go. I wanted y'all to see it. I've still got the tag. Anyway, this is really good news to see that we're back full strength. We really need that help in the secondary, and having Tillman back is huge. So let's get into this story. This goes on, it says, Tennessee stars Tillman and McCollough cleared for returns as Vols enter key stretch per reports. Talks about two key starters being ready for the battle versus Kentucky. Says wide receiver Cedric Tillman's expected to see action for the first time since he had the ankle injury in week 3 against Akron. While starting safety Jalen McCollough has been cleared to play by the university and its athletic department. And Heupel said, you guys have heard me say earlier that he's been cleared, talking about McCollough. Whoever looks at that has decided that based on the evidence, they have cleared him. He's been with us here the last week, so we'll see. But it does appear he's going to be playing. Talks about the multiple eyewitness accounts where McCullough's version of the incident, his version was corroborated. So it sounds like he's going to be okay on this deal. We'll see how it plays out, but it does sound like he's going to be playing tomorrow. So the only concern was health and missed practices. Said it'll be a huge boost for a defense that has struggled to defend the pass. Of course, he's a 4-year starter with 3 career interceptions, 148 tackles. And he'll help a defense that ranks last in the SEC in pass defense. So, yeah, he's going to be real helpful. Now, I know a lot of people are calling this thing a trap game, which typically I would say that it is, especially if it was at Kroger Field up in Kentucky. And when you get near a trap game, that's when it can get real dangerous.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. No, Will Robinson. Danger.
That's right. Danger, Will Robinson. But I'm not seeing that here because understand it's going to be at Neyland Stadium at 7 o'clock at night, and there's no way 102,000 folks are going to let Tennessee not be at the top of their game. And look, Kentucky's a really good team, so it's not like they're going into it sleepwalking. And last year, Kentucky almost won this game. It was like 45-42, and they had an opportunity to win at the last second. So I don't think Tennessee's going to fall into that trap and not take Kentucky very seriously. So I don't see that happening at all.
I'm not seeing it here, Lloyd.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing it here, Lloyd. Just not seeing it. Now, obviously, having McCollough back will be a huge boost, not only for the guys in the backfield, but, you get that kind of continuity where you're playing with the same people all the time, and you kind of know what they're thinking and what they're going to do in each situation. And him being a multi-year starter is really going to help that defense. I have very little doubt of that, so I'm really glad to see him back in the game. Now let's talk about Tillman. This guy's going to be a nightmare for any of these teams to deal with. I mean, good grief. He's a freak athlete. He's got to be fired up as can be, and he's got that good connection with Hendon Hooker, and I don't think it'll take too long for them to get that feel back, and I think he's going to be an absolute nightmare for them to deal with throughout the night. And plus, they've got to deal with Jalen Hyatt and Brew McCoy, Princeton Fant, and then Hendon might take off and start running. Of course, we got our running backs and all that, and that is just a lot to deal with for Kentucky's defense. And I know all those Kentucky folks are up there looking at all these offensive weapons, and they got to be thinking, surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
That's right. We are serious, and we're going to come up there, and it's going to be something else. I really look forward to Cedric Tillman's debut again. I think he's going to be a true nightmare for them to deal with. It's really too much for any team. And Kentucky, and what Kentucky's going to have to do, they're going to have to try to run the ball. But the problem is they're not running the ball as well as last year because their offensive line isn't quite as good. Our defensive line is playing against the run extremely well, and they've been getting after the quarterback. And Will Levis has a tendency to be a tough guy, and he likes to hold on to the ball too long. And that's not a good idea against our defense. And look, this is not Bryce Young. He is not fleet-footed, and he's a little bit injured, and he's not a magician the way that Bryce was. So I think he's going to get sacked probably multiple times. He's probably going to make a mistake, throw an interception, or fumble the ball. And if he does, with 102,000 ready to jump, it's going to get real rough, would be my guess. This is not a good matchup for Kentucky. They struggled stopping us last year, and we're better on offense this year. And how they stayed in the game was they just ran it down our throats the whole game and had the ball for 47 minutes. I don't see that happening this year. I think that's going to be very difficult. So I really like our chances in this game, and I think it's going to be a double-digit victory, probably between 12 to 15 points would be my guess, somewhere in the neighborhood of a 42 to 30 or something like that, maybe 45 to 30. And if there's one thing we've learned about the Vols, they love being at home.
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
That's right. There's no place like home. All right, folks, and if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover the Vols. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I would certainly appreciate it. I've only been doing this a few months. I could use some subscribers. And hope you did like the content. We'll see you next time on Sports Talk J.